Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to our channel, Why Not Now? Today, in this video, we're going to explain to you the reasons why we selected this beautiful city that we are residing in, which is Santiago de Querétaro, out of all the other beautiful cities over here in the state, or over here in the country of Mexico. And we're gonna break it down. We have like 8 categories we're gonna try to break it down in, so we're gonna explain that to you. So that's what you're gonna experience today in this video.
And we're just gonna do this like a raw video, so whatever comes to mind. We've just jotted down the 8 categories, which is primarily what we look for in general when we're moving into any country. We just kind of want to make sure that these categories are within our comfort. So number 1 would be, of course, safety. Yep. So safety, I mean, we did a lot of research on Santiago de Querétaro. It's a very, very safe city. Does crime exist here? I always say this, like in my other videos. Yes, it does. Crime exists everywhere in the world. But, when we walk out here to walk our dogs late at night, do we feel threatened? No,
not at all.
Completely comfortable. And we don't necessarily live in a hustling, bustling where there's constant action going on. We just feel comfortable. We see the locals out and about, maybe coming home from late night work, or maybe there's a coffee shop open, or maybe things are closed early on a Sunday, but we're at, for any reason at all, we're not uncomfortable walking around.
Yeah, you see people jogging around, like last night, for example, while walking our dogs, and saw couples jogging, people walking, and nothing's going on. Like, of course, you have to just keep your head on the swivel, pay attention to what's going on. But honestly, the safety here is in my opinion, is amazing. There's nothing that we have to worry about. It's actually number 2. Well, I'm not going to say number 2. I'm sorry about that, because Merida is number 1.
Querétaro could potentially be number 2 or one of the,
top 5.
Definitely top five of the safest cities in Mexico. And the most crime, is like petty theft, honestly. Like, if you're gonna walk away from your apartment and leave your door wide open, chances are, even in the best part of the U.S., at some point, someone may go ahead and say, let me take a shot at that apartment. So just common sense,
Like when we were looking at an apartment we were trying to rent down in Centro Historical, this guy, he was showing us his apartment or whatever. He had his front door open and he left his laptop right there, but he told us like, oh, wait a minute, could you bring my laptop upstairs? And we like, oh, is it dangerous around here or things going on? He said, no, but if someone see that opportunity, of course they would take it. So just basic things like that. If you leave your phone laying around and walk away, it may be gone. But
nothing to do with Mexico, it just has to do with the world. We live with people.
Just in general, yep.
So safety.
That's number 1, safety.
And if you see me looking down, just looking at my categories, so our second category is cleanliness. It is very clean. Yeah. Now, you'll see in some of our other videos when we're walking, maybe we're cutting through a back way, we might be cutting through like a lot, and you'll see some trash and things. I mean, do lots exist where there are trash and things? Of course, but if you go down to like the historic center, that's a good indicator of the city's cleanliness, because depending on how they keep it, there's no trash laying around. It's pretty immaculate in our opinion. It's a very clean looking city. So, it's a beautiful city, well kept.
And and you constantly see a crew. They're wearing like an orange and blue type of outfit. It's a cleaning crew. And they're going around sweeping sweeping the sidewalks and picking up trash, and you kind of have garbage cans posted on like the street lamps or something, and people are throwing away the trash, and it's actually a pretty clean city. And I mentioned that in one of my previous videos, how clean this city is actually.
You actually reminded me when you said that about cleaning the streets. We always joke. And if you live in Mexico, we want to know. Please share with us, enlighten us. We want to know. We love that when we walk around, we always see like our neighbors, they're outside of their property, and they're like putting water and disinfectant, and they're scrubbing the concrete and the sidewalks, and that is very common. We see that everywhere. And back in the United States, that's not common. We don't see that very often.
No, it's not as often as down here.
Here it's a normal thing for any like homeowner in front of apartments, in front of properties.
In front of homes, property, businesses, anything. Like in the States, for the most part, you will see it kind of sort of in front of the businesses themselves, but over here, everybody's doing it in neighborhoods and wherever. Like you're seeing them constantly out there wetting the concrete up and sweeping it off, spraying it off, scrubbing it all.
To the point of where we feel bad walking, you know, past the property. We're like, oh no, they just cleaned it. And matter of fact, this reminded me when we first landed here in November, early November of last year. We came off a flight into the airport, and it was so funny. I wish we had footage, but we don't, unfortunately. They were cleaning the floors. It was late at night, and we literally, our feet got soaked because they were so focused on scrubbing and disinfecting the airport floors that it was just like completely like a mini little lake in there. They were just cleaning away. So our Mexican subscribers, tell us, is this very common in Mexico?
Comment below.
Let us know.
Comment below.
Do the Mexican people just love keeping the exterior looking clean? Do they take so much pride in that? I mean, I'm amazed by it. I love it. But it was like a shock to me because we're not so used to seeing that back in the States on the level that they do it here.
Yep.
Okay, so next category, the population.
Population. Yep.
So we picked, now this could change. Now keep in mind, you know, right now we wanted a city that felt big, but not too big. But in the future that could change. Maybe we may want to move to a smaller town or a larger city, but based on what we chose, we were looking for to pick at the time. We were looking for a population that felt like a big city, but had all the amenities, but it wasn't overly congested. Like we didn't want to move to like a Mexico City that was really populated. So here, the population is 1.1 million, give or take, and it feels amazing. I mean, it feels lively, it feels good, you know, but it's not overly congested, which also adds to the cleanliness. We don't have like all of this pollution and things like that. The air is clean and fresh, even though you have like buses and you have, you know, public transportation. It just feels clean, and the population isn't overly congested unless you're going out to a gathering.
And to jump in, keep in mind though, of course, the pandemic is going on. So we don't know if that's affecting or not affecting what's going on. But down here, people are actually out and about, so everything's still moving over here.
But for was it Guadalupe, December the 12th, we went down. We didn't realize that was a special, you know, holiday celebration of Guadalupe. We went down to Central Historical, and it was packed. It was really, really packed, but that was down in the historic center. So again, like my husband said, he makes a good point. We don't know if maybe it'll be more congested down the road, you know, when the pandemic has passed.
Yep, and that's number 2.
Well, number 3. Number 3. Okay, so the fourth category is the climate.
Lovely.
All right. So Santiago de Querétaro is just, they say it has like spring-like weather year-round. It's beautiful. And again, we came here in November, so we haven't we know it can get really hot, dry hot. Not humid hot, but we have yet to experience that. So right now, I mean, we're just like loving it because right now we're in January, and we enjoy days like in the low 70s. At night we complain, we're like, oh God, it's 50 something, it's so cold. we're already like weaklings when it comes to the cold.
I'm pulling my coat out. we're talking to family back home in the States, and they're like, oh, it's freezing down here. And then they say, what's your temperature?
Degrees.
30, 20 some degree. What's the temperature there? Oh, it's like 60 and stuff like that. And they just start laughing at us because I'm putting on my coat. Hoodies.
You get used to the good weather.
Get used to the good weather.
And another factor with the climate here, and again, you know, to people who live in Querétaro, let us know what your experience is living here in the hotter months, because we heard that May can be the hottest month of the year, January is the coldest month of the year. So, you know, we've noticed that most places don't have air conditioning. Our apartment doesn't have it. Technically, we don't feel like we need it right now. But when it gets hotter, we'll truly see, you know, and also I think it depends on where your apartment sits, because our apartment, we get natural light, but then we don't have direct heat beaming. Some of the Airbnbs that we stayed in the past had like panoramic windows. You can check out our Airbnb tour video in Central Sur, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And that had air conditioning, and even though with the air conditioning, it was what?
Smoking.
It was November?
Yeah, that was when we first
It was so hot. It didn't even cool the apartment, which was strange to us. But so I guess it depends where you are. But for the most part, I'd like to say that the mild, the temperate climate here can allow you to live here without having the high electric bill, without having to worry about paying for an AC for the most part, depending on, you know, where your your residence is situated, how much light is coming in, do you have darkening shades? Other factors can play into that, but for the most part, it's pretty comfortable.
And also I think too is how the buildings are built here for the most part. Like they're using like concrete or stone or something, and that allows it to, in the warmer months, I think that will allow it to stay cooler.
Yeah, that's
so true. We haven't really come across a lot of apartments. When we were looking at apartments, some of them didn't have heaters or AC units. They like just open up the window, and I was like, I don't know if I can do that. But now I see what they're talking about, that you can survive. When it gets a little bit chilly, just put a hoodie on or a sweater on, and you'll be fine. Yeah, you'll be fine.
And also, like my husband mentioned about the concrete, the tiles here, I noticed that the way that the flooring is made, like right now, for example, I have to have my slippers on because I get really cold, but I can imagine in the summertime with the flooring, how the tile is, that it can keep, everything really, really cool as well. So,
yep. All right.
Okay, we are number 5, I believe. Strong economy.
I think so. I think it's a strong economy here because, I don't know, I'll be talking to my family once again, talking to my family in the States and explaining to them, like, these people are driving around over here in fancy cars and Mercedes and Audis and BMWs and they're dressing nice and
way better than we look like bums walking around.
They're dressing nice and they're going to these fancy restaurants and things like that. And Querétaro itself is a city that it has a strong economy because of jobs. I think Samsung's here, and of course Coca-Cola. I've seen a Coca-Cola factory here. A lot of other factories and other opportunities are coming over here. So that's why a lot of people, I think, move from the Mexico cities and move from the Guanajuatos and Guadalajaras and come over here and work and they thrive.
Yeah, a lot of the technology companies and all other kind of companies have come and relocated from Mexico City to come to Querétaro, which is why it's kind of exploding right now. They're continuously building, especially in the Central Sur area. You'll see a lot of high rises with pools and this, luxurious like gyms and lobbies and just doormen, and it's just really, I really don't know how to explain it unless you come here yourself. Like a lot of people ask us, oh, do they have a movie theater there, or do they have, and I'm like, guys, you don't understand. I really have to say this, where we live is better than many of the cities in the US. Like we have luxurious malls, we have state-of-the-art healthcare facilities. It's not like, I don't know, I guess we watch the media in the US or sometimes in other countries, and we really are ignorant to what other countries are like. In Mexico, especially where we are now, we can speak on Santiago de Querétaro is a prosperous city. It is been up and coming. I think it's just amazing here. People here are very well to do. They're doing very well. They take care of their city. They take pride in their city. The businesses here are very nice. You have many, many options of food to eat. People ask us all the time, do they have hamburgers there? We have we live in Milenio, and literally within 5-minute walk, we have at least 4 different hamburger places. Yeah. No joke. We have wing spots.
They have everything.
Argentinian food, Indian food,
like,
Asian, anything you could possibly want, you got it. Yeah.
Starbucks, all the typical stuff. And my wife was mentioning about the mall. I think, I don't know, I was watching Kinetic Keenan's, when they did a video about it, the Antilla Mall. And I think that's going towards Kia, something like that. And they said that may be like the second largest mall in Mexico. And we went out there, and it's an amazing mall. They have all the expensive stores and the Prada, the Coach, the Gucci.
We don't typically shop like that, but it was just
we just wanted to go out there and experience. And I think they actually have some form of a nightclub or something on the inside of it. And people are out there just enjoying it, and it's just nice. People are enjoying life here. And the city is just a strong economy. It's just nice over here.
It definitely is.
Yep.
Number 6, the healthcare. Kind of briefly touched on that. So again, healthcare here is very accessible. They have a number of both private and public hospitals, a number of private clinics. You talk about if you have dogs. Over here, I mentioned this in another video as well. I don't understand. I've never seen in Milenio an area where every block or two there's a vet. So they have tons of vet services, private clinics, dentists. Anything that you can possibly want You've got access to it here. And I even read in a blog that in the popular expat city of San Miguel de Allende, the expats will actually travel. It's about an hour from us here in Querétaro. They will travel from San Miguel de Allende to come to our city to get specialty healthcare services. And of course, guys, I mean, think about it. It's pretty much a fraction of the cost in Mexico than it is in the U.S. So, and you're not pretty much sacrificing any kind of care. You're not, you're getting top-notch care. Sometimes it's even better than, equal to the U.S. or better than state-of-the-art facilities here.
Yeah, and they have the 24-hour pharmacies over here, the Pharmacy Guadalajara. A couple other pharmacies, which would be equivalent, I don't know, in the States would be like a Walgreens or something.
Oh, yeah.
In the South, or like a Dwayne Reed's or something.
And Walmart too, and Costco and everything.
Yeah, they have. It's just like you wouldn't miss anything. And like my wife was saying, it's a fraction of a cost, and you can't beat that. The healthcare here is great.
And you know what? Now that my husband mentioned the pharmacies, I'm going to throw in just a little extra information. You don't even, I don't know if this applies. Again, the Mexican population, our subscribers can go ahead and chime in, comment, let us know, because we don't know. We're just learning. Let us know to our Mexican family, our Mexican subscribers, please, comment. We've noticed here, guys, that you don't even really need a prescription to get medication at the pharmacy. I don't know if it's across the board for any medication, but you don't necessarily need a prescription. You go into the pharmacy, you tell them what you're looking for, and keep in mind that, there are many patents to when it comes to drugs. So the drug can be the same drug, but because a different company has made it, they can call it something different. So the brand name will be different, but look at the chemical name, the generic name. You'll find that you can access all of your medications here, and you don't even need a prescription.
It may not be that it's not as regulated or something as controlled.
They don't have the FDA, right? The Food and Drug Administration, but a lot of expats live here, and from what we've read and what we've heard and what they're doing fine. They come here to get their medication. They don't have to go worry about, go seeing a doctor and spending, $200 for a doctor to go ahead and take their blood pressure and then stick a thermometer in their mouth just to give them a prescription to go to the pharmacy. You just go straight to the pharmacy and get it. So that's another
that's a plus.
Okay, number 7. See, there's so many good things. We can't just, it's hard to narrow it down. We have to share everything. Hidden gem.
It is.
And we kind of touched on that briefly before with just, the malls and things, but it's a hidden gem. It's a very cultivated, it's a very polished city. Like my husband said, people here, do you have poverty? Yes, you have poverty. Absolutely. There's poverty, everywhere. But there's also a very well-to-do middle class. It's a very middle-class city, and people here, you can see they're doing well with their homes, their cars, how they dress. They take good care of themselves. The malls they have here, they just have these beautiful malls. It's just, they're big and multiple levels, and some of them are like partially indoors and partially outdoors. You really don't lack for anything here. I also read that the Centro Histórico, the historic center, was declared as one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, like in 1996, I want to say. So that is something that I just learned recently. I was pretty amazed. We were walking down in the center, and I showed my husband a plaque, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know that this center was, one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So again, it's just a great city. Rich in history. Tons of amenities, museums, anything you could possibly want, and even like things that we'd love to see in the future. When the pandemic passes, we want to go check out the vineyards. We want to spend some time outdoors in Querétaro. We know there's some great parks. We were driving in the Uber the other day, and it was a beautiful park, and we could tell it was shut down. And I asked the Uber driver, and he said it was called, and sorry if I mess up the pronunciation, Almeida Hidalgo Parque. So Almeida Hidalgo Park, and it was down in
It's open in Central. Yeah, it was open in the center.
It was kind of a little bit further away from the center of the historic center, right?
Yeah, like 5 minutes.
But it was a beautiful park, and if you guys Google it, you'll see. But right now it's closed. But there's tons of things that we we're not even scratching the surface, being here in Querétaro because of the pandemia, of what we'd really like to show you guys and what we'd like to see for ourselves, outdoors and indoors.
Yep.
Last but not least, it's centrally located. So husband, the airport, how far is it from the historic center? Do you remember when we drove?
I would say maybe like 20, 25 minutes, right?
Right. Yeah, definitely
Something
under
like
30
that.
minutes.
Under 30 minutes.
Yep, so we can have access to, where we live now, within 30 minutes, we can go ahead and get to the Querétaro's International Airport, and we can get direct flights to the U.S.
Yep.
Some cities in the U.S. like Texas.
Dallas, Houston, and whatnot, and that's a 2-hour flight, I think, to Texas. 2-hour flight, if that, and if you go to, I don't know, Atlanta, anywhere else, like it's very easy to get a flight to go back home to the States, and that's one of the other reasons, like my wife was saying, that's why we selected this, because it's centrally located. Right,
so we can travel throughout Mexico, when the time is appropriate. We can get back to some cities in the States.
Yeah, an hour from the beach, from Puerto Vallarta. We can go to Puerto
Vallarta
like an hour.
We can get to Puerto Vallarta like in an hour. We can get to
Mexico City.
Yeah, Mexico City. I think
it's like
I want to say even a bus ride was like 2 hours, or driving is 2 hours.
Yep.
And San Miguel de Allende is 1 hour.
Yeah, a lot of people come here. Like when we first flew in, there was a couple in front of us. They lived in San Miguel, and they actually landed in Querétaro and drove to San Miguel. So it's
super conveniently located. Sorry guys, I have an eyelash on my eye, and if you see me digging in my eyes here, but yes, it's very centrally located. So what more can I say? I'm sure there are tons of things we can think about. To add to this list, but this is just I'll say general categories of what helped us select. To begin our journey in Mexico, we love Querétaro. We don't know in the future, do we want to travel to other parts of Mexico? Sure, we do. And when that time comes, we'll let you guys know. But we hope that you found this video helpful. We hope that it gave you some information about the beautiful Santiago de Querétaro. If you have any comments, as always, please add a comment. If you have a question, click the notification bell so that you are notified anytime we post new content. If you are new, please subscribe. It's free. It doesn't hurt anything if you subscribe. It allows us to continue to build this channel so we can bring you more content, get more ideas from you all. We've had a lot of great subscribers, even in Mexico, tell us, hey, why don't you guys try a video on this, giving us great ideas. I'm so thankful for all of our subscribers. And I think
to one of our other subscriber that actually requested and asked about this video, hopefully this answered the questions that you were looking for, and that's pretty much
that's it. That's
that's pretty much it. Hopefully we answered everything. That's some of the reasons why we selected this city. It's a beautiful city. It's a hidden gem, like my wife said, and I think it's a great choice for someone to come move over here into Mexico.
All right, so we'll leave you guys with live the life that you were meant to live, keep a grateful heart, and remember,
why not now? All right, guys. Peace.